Hi and welcome back. Tonight we are going to show you how to make our version of stuffed bell peppers. Have some nice fresh big bell peppers here. I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off, get it clean. I've already prepared several of them. I'm just going to go ahead and show you that I take the bell pepper and my knife, insert it, cut around the very top of it. Try and make it big enough to where you're able to get the stuffing in there. Then we're going to go ahead and pop the top off. Looks like a bell pepper.
A lot of seeds on the top.
Use our spoon. Get the inside cleaned out as much as we can. Get all the inside scraped out of there. Go ahead and just dump that in the sink. Rinse it out. Now you have a nice clean scooped out bell pepper. The next thing I do is I take my bell peppers and I fill them about halfway with some water. Just like that. And I do steam them a little bit in the oven before we go ahead and stuff them. So let me go ahead and get these filled up here. I've got my oven preheating to 425 degrees so that when that gets ready, I can stick my peppers in there. Got a nice big glass dish here
That your daughter bought you.
My daughter did buy this for me for Christmas. Then once I get the peppers in there with the water, I fill the pan about a fourth away with water just to make sure they get good and steamed. That helps the peppers stay a little bit softer when you eat them. Just like that. Now I don't know if it's true what they say, but they say vegetables are good for your pets, especially your dogs. Our dogs love bell peppers. Every time we have them, they go crazy. So we always save them a little piece. I just cut off a little piece of the top that I cut off the pepper. And they get a nice healthy treat. She's drinking. Alright, so my oven has reached temp. It is at 425 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and take our pan of water and peppers here, stick it in the oven. We're going to set the timer for about 25 minutes. And while those are steaming in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and get the stuff for the peppers prepared. I've got a large onion chopped up here. We're going to go ahead and put that in our pan.
Yellow onion.
Yes, yellow onion. It looks like white onion, but it's yellow onion. I have 3 packs of lean ground beef here, 16 ounces, 1 pound each, 93% lean, 7% fat. We're going to go ahead and get this opened up and put that in the pan with the onions. Alright, I've got all 3 packs of hamburger in here, so I'm going to go ahead and break it up a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to take my clean wooden spoon, mix up the onion a little bit. Whoops, make a mess. Go ahead, turn on the burner. So high heat, take a little bit of normal salt and pepper, just kind of sprinkle it across the top here. And we're going to let that start browning. While the hamburger is browning, I'm going to go ahead and get the water for my rice ready. I have just 2.5 cups of plain ordinary water here. We're gonna go ahead and get that heating up. Once it starts to boil, we will add 2.5 cups of minute rice to that and let it cook for 5 minutes like minute rice does. And we'll be back. All right, my white rice water is boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. 2.5 cups of minute rice here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in our pan. Use my spoon here, get it mixed in there a little bit. Put the lid on it, and we're gonna go ahead and set this aside away from the heat and let it rest for 5 minutes. My hamburger is getting good and brown. I'm gonna go ahead and just put another little sprinkle of some salt and pepper in there now that it's browning so that the flavoring cooks into the meat. We're gonna go ahead and get that stirred up. Crunch it up a little bit more and let it continue to brown. My meat has gotten good and brown. As you can see, I did drain it as it was cooking. It was starting to get a lot of grease in there, so we did strain some of that out. And I'm gonna add the rest of my ingredients here. We have a can of Campbell's tomato soup, condensed tomato soup. We're gonna go ahead and pour that on in there. And we're gonna take a second can of tomato soup and pour that in there. Then we have a can of V8 Spicy Hot. It's 11.5 fluid ounces. We're gonna go ahead and pop that open. And we're gonna pour that in there. And we'll let you have a look-see. There you go. Then I'm gonna go get my minute rice. All right, we have our minute rice here. We're gonna go ahead and scoop that into our pan. The whole while I do still have my hamburger on a medium heat to keep everything warm. And then we're just gonna give this all a stir. All mixed in there.
And the dogs are raving about it.
Alright, it looks like it's not quite saucy enough, so I'm going to pull out one more can of tomato soup here. And we're going to go ahead and add that. Alright, that is looking much better. We've got it all mixed in. Let you have a look, nice and steamy. We're going to turn it on a very, very low heat and let it stay warm as we're waiting for the peppers to finish in the oven. They've got about 2 minutes left, so we'll be back very shortly. We just took our peppers out of the oven. As you can see, the tops have gotten nice and brown. They're very pliable now. Nice and soft and steamed, makes it easier to eat. And so the next thing that we're going to want to do is get the water out of the peppers and the pans. So you're going to want to grab your peppers. Be very, very careful. They're very, very hot. Nice and squishy. We're going to go ahead and dump the water out. And set them back here on a plate out of our way so we can get the water out of the pan. It's an odd-shaped pepper. Our peppers are all dumped. We're going to go ahead and dump our water.
Carefully.
Carefully. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and just wipe some of the residual water out. Get a little bit drier. We are going to get our cooking spray and give our pan a little bit of a spray here. and put all of our peppers back in. It's a little bit faster putting them back in. You don't have to dump them out. We have our ladle here. We're going to get a nice healthy scoop of our stuffing and ladle it right on in to our pepper, just like that. And again, be careful, your peppers are hot. It's okay if you make a mess and get it all over the place, because we like to make sure we have lots of stuffing and we build it around the pan, around the peppers anyway, so that we have lots of extra, kind of like a casserole.
And it's yummy.
So this does not have to be a neat meal, folks. Just regular Colby Jack cheese slices. We've had it sitting out a little bit so it gets a little bit warm and easier to use. And we're going to take 2 slices each and put it across our peppers. Just like that. Then we are going to try and do this without making a mess. We're going to move our peppers a little bit. And we're going to get as much of this leftover stuff in here as we can. If you have to move your pepper, move your pepper. Baby. There we go. I think that's about all I'm going to get in there. Maybe a little bit more right there. Okay. Once you get your peppers nice and safe and tucked in, we have some shredded marble jack cheese here. And we're just going to sprinkle it across the top so that the extra stuff gets cheesy too. Like that. And then we're going to put our pan back in the oven for an additional 15 minutes. Watch out, Anastasia. Again, it's at 425 degrees. And we're just going to pop it in there for 15 minutes and go ahead and set our timer. Alright, our peppers are done. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the oven. And we have a nice ooey gooey cheesy mess, which is absolutely perfect. Now we're going to let that cool a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get it plated up, make ourselves some salad, and have a bite of dinner. Alright, we do have our salads all prepared now, so we're going to go ahead and dish up our dinner. We're going to scoop up underneath here. Get a nice bell pepper, put it on the plate, get some of this casserole stuff we were talking about, put a little bit of that on the plate. Got our salad here, and we have a nice big thing of fresh fruit. So we're just going to go ahead and grab a couple chunks of some pineapple. That's a big chunk of pineapple. A little bit of honeydew. A little bit of cantaloupe. And some grapes. And you have a nice, beautiful, healthy, fresh plate.